Okay, so yeah, intentions for the call. My intention is just to go through the agenda, especially organize a little bit the week. There's some issues on the board that we should address, and just go through the board and see how we can make those issues happen. I do not have any distraction. I'll pass it to Ratio.
Intentions are just to keep track of all the various proposals, what's open, closed. I'll start working on the my section of the report, which I have questions of the transparency audit, which I have questions about. We'll discuss later. And distractions. Today, no distractions. Pass it, Ivy.
Thanks, Rachel. My intention is to get updates from the team and see where I can support, because I feel like I'm kind of missing out on some things because of my distractions. So my distractions, or I still have to work on a lot of tweets for common stack, and yeah. So basically, and I'm also eating because this is the only chance I get to have my dinner, and it's like 12 midnight for me. So yeah, I pass it to NT.
Hey, thanks. Enjoy your dinner, first of all. Well, my intentions are just to learn and to see what I can help in here. And well, I have a bit of work to do. That would be probably my distraction.
Great. Let me open the agenda. Here. Share my screen. Okay. The first thing, like I'm making a forum post for the transparency around the multisigs, and we were chatting about it a little bit in SoftCov, and basically like me and Ivy are building a document where we have like a multisig, and those are linked to names. And basically, like the question is like if we want to make it like a public document for the whole community, or we want to keep it more private. The intention is like to post it on advice process on the community, and discuss a little bit in the forums, and by the end of the week or next week make the vote. So how we want to handle that? These things on the community. I don't know, like if maybe I can paste the link on transparency if anyone wants to make some comments before I post it. I probably wanted to post it today, but if someone wants to share some thoughts, I'll leave it there. Next point on the agenda also, like there is like the Dune chart is almost done. Griff was giving some feedback, but actually, like, by this week it's going to get freeze. So if you guys want to make some changes, like the best way is just either create a GitHub issue or DM me. But it's looking pretty strong. Like this is the 10 top trades on the ABC and 10 top trades on Honeyswap, and we can also label the dates here for the audit, which is great. Then wow, that's great. This is new. We're planning some changes here on the proposals, but then for the rest, it's almost done. So if there's any feedback to share, please do.
Yes, I'll give you some feedback. So is that how we want the proposal voting? Is that how you want it set up? And like, so is how is Dune Analytics going to do auto tracking of proposals? And my second input would be, I don't know what section it's under, but apparently the 3 new graphs, I guess. The daily TE sale, honey swap TE sales, and tribute. Those should be, if we want to stay fluid with all the with the other graphs of similar type, those should all be wide frame.
Yeah, and do you think the tributes should be weekly or monthly?
I think monthly would probably be a better. That's my opinion. I don't know. I'm probably the newest person in here, so.
For me, it also makes sense.
And then further down with the multi-sig treasuries. Again, I'll go back and say that those. I don't know. My concern is the one that says tribute distribution and how that's going to look after 11 months or 12 months, if it's even going to be legible, or after 2 years.
I mean, the thing is, all those graphs are going to save that data until 3 months, and you will always going to see the last 3 months.
Okay.
At least on the daily ones. This monthly, probably we can set up so it's a year, and then the intention is if you want to see like something, I don't know, we are in 2024, and you want to see something for 2022. Then you come to start date and put 2022, and then it's going to show that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. And then, like I said, going back to the proposals, where's that data coming from? And
this comes directly from conviction voting. So it's actually like we can conviction voting is where we're going to get more decisions, but I think we could also keep the decision tree doc so we can have both places, because I think it's great. And here also we're going to see I was just asking, I don't know if it's going to be possible, but we can also see the state status, and then it's if it's passing, if it's actually we're going to use the same ones from Gardens.
Well, it doesn't have TAL voting in here either.
No, it's just for conviction.
So then the title should probably say conviction, make it known that this is only conviction.
Oh yeah. That's great.
And then going back to, I don't want to take all the time, but going back to the multi-sig. As long as it's tracked whose wallets those are, I don't know if you necessarily need to put a name on it. I mean, me personally, out of transparency, but as long as it's tracked somewhere, so I'm not trying to get in the middle of y'all's debate, but that'd be my input on it. So
I mean, with this thing, you see, you can just go on Block Scout. Oh wait, it's not. I mean, you can just copy the address, and you go to Block Scout and you can see all the movement, all the links of this multisig. But then, if you want, I don't know, you want to see what laser tag is doing. So laser tag, they just make in this amount of TC, this amount of ETH, and they didn't make anything out. But if you put the name of the multisig you want to track here, then you can see all the movement. And again, we can also set up for 3 months on the dates, so we only see the ones that we care. And then for the multisigs, it's actually it's that how much transparent we want to be with for example, in my opinion, it should be transparent, because it's not it's not Septi's money or Ivy's money, the one that's holding on the multisig. It's TC money, right?
Yep.
We're just making ourselves accountable, and Nate shared very nice feedback, saying when you want to be transparent, you have to have reputation on stake.
Yep.
To make yourself accountable.
Yep,
That information
exactly.
should be feel easily available.
Yes. And going back to the dashboard, to the Dune analytics, I don't know if it's possible. So that's just the. All right, I apologize. I guess it would be under the inflow and outflow. Would there be a way to show what is this breaking down individual payments, or is this like funding proposals? Like say like we pay out the monthly distribution, like,
Actually,
will that be annotated at monthly distribution,
now
or
that sorry.
so that's just my question as far as like a detail of where the payment went or what it was used for. So that's all. Thanks.
Yeah, actually, that's the intention, but I'm seeing it here now. Like, I remember with transparency, me and Ivy just send one die and send it back, and it's not reflecting here on the movements. So, yeah, probably also talk with GH.
I think it's just the inflow. It's supposed to show the outflow too, right?
Yeah, exactly. But also, if it's only the inflow, when we send one die, it's not here, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe he set it up so it starts here, but I should talk with him. But that's very nice catch.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean, I
we
just
can
prefer doing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ivy.
maybe we can have another column here that says if it's an inflow or outflow. In the yeah.
Oh no, I already talked with GH. Outflows are going to be shown as minus. If that is that enough, or do you still want to have a column that says negative? It's a sell or outflow.
So if it has a negative sign, it means it's
Yeah.
outflow. But how come?
Yeah.
But remember, we sent from the transparency. But why doesn't it? Why it's not reflected
Yeah.
here?
It's neither the inflow or the outflow, and that's what I have to talk with GH with this one.
Yeah, I think if we will put the negative sign, it's okay not to add the inflow or outflow column.
Okay.
Or if you can even, I mean, I don't know if it's even possible to color code the balance amount, like green inflow, red outflow, whichever. I think probably a negative would probably be easier.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I can ask.
But the actual details of what it's doing, like in what you have now with all the inflows and outflows, there should be a column. I would think there should be a column that says like proposal funding, or monthly distribution, or
Yeah, but the thing
like
is,
a description of what the actual transaction is.
like the way it's like, on the blockchain, this information is not there. Like,
Right.
So, I mean, all what we're seeing here is pulling data out of the blockchain, and the blockchain says, "Oh, conviction voting sent some money to this address," and then he's calling this address transparency.
If you're having,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, go ahead.
I was going to say, maybe if he puts an editable field in there that working group members, like a note field. I don't know if that's possible, but I mean, if it's transparency, it should still show, regardless if it's on the blockchain or not, it should still show a description of the transaction.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we can cover those pieces of information in the audit report. Like because I think this dashboard is more automated. And yeah, I don't know if it's possible to add a note field and that it's something that anybody can edit, because the goal is like to show what's actually going on in the blockchain. So I think those information can be reflected on the audit report. What do you think, Zep?
Yeah, I also think that if I don't know what's the purpose of the Google Sheet manual in the addresses, but you can probably add like specific information in the Google Sheet and link the Google Sheet on the in case any to look what's exactly that transaction for.
Is somebody covering the transactions in a Google Sheet?
I don't know if that's the intention of the sheet, but
No. My intention was, we have this forum post where the proposal where we ask the money from the community, and then every time we are distributing funds, make a comment how we use those funds, and then at the end of the 3 months, we say, oh, this is, we carry over this money. You can either use that money, for the new proposal, or send it back to the common pool, or but be transparent on the forum post, right? And then, as Ivy was saying, like cover it on the audit, and then because also like if we make this, like even if it's possible to make it editable, like it's impossible to track, from one working group, track all the working groups, unless you say you obligate the other working groups to also update this part from, how they're using the funds.
One thing that could be done also is like you said, the Dune tracking, like the Dune board has the name of the multisig based on the address, so you could do the same for like take the common pool of the tech and say, okay, if the transaction is from this address, it's from the common pool, and just have a couple of addresses from the most used things on the tech, and that probably can be a way to self-track, to automatically track at least the most relevant movements.
I didn't fully when you say like the most relevant, you mean edit them manually?
No, but like you can have a new column that says like where it's from, and have the address that sent the funds to that multisig. And so if the address is a known address, say for example common pool, you can say, okay, common pool, and so you know that transparency received X amount of X DAI from the tech common pool.
Yeah, that's true.
If else, you can just say the address, and anyone can open the address and look at what the address is like.
Is there a proposal template that people have to follow?
Yeah.
I don't know if that template can be changed, but you were saying for like when there are payouts to put it on the forum, I think that should probably be edit the main entry to show the payment instead of burying it somewhere in the conversation. You know what I mean? Instead of like a random post under that, excuse me, under that.
No, but it's here. Transparency proposal. I'm looking for it. Transparency proposal. Yeah. Oh, this one. Yeah, I mean the intention, like we ask it from the community here, and then anyone in the community can, check on the gardens on the completed. It's loading. Okay. They go to transparency, and then they are linked to this forum thread, and then anyone can just come here, and then we say, yeah, I mean, there's some comments here, but then we can just say like, okay, February, like this is the expenses from February, March, and April, and since this conviction proposal is for 3 months, then after 3 months we say, oh, we end up with having these carryovers, or or whatever, or we don't have or we just close the numbers, we end up with 0. And then the 3 months budget is gone, and then we go again another proposal, or depends if the project is done, it's done. And
My comment was that where you're at right now, scroll back up to the top, right there, like at like the last sentence on that post, edit it, and then put payment out instead of burying it in the comments. It might not. That's what I was talking about. And I don't know if that would require a proposal template change or not.
I mean, that's something like it's under softcop, but we should make I think it's a very nice idea to be more transparent, and definitely, let's talk it on the next softcop call, for sure.
Cool.
Okay. And then, did we capture all the feedback we wanted to capture for the Dune? Actually, there is very nice arbitrage opportunities here, especially between the mint and the market price. Oh no, because the bond then slower. I don't know. Let the bots do the job. I'm pretty sure I lose money if I do that.
I think Dune's I think we pretty much beat up Dune, and as far as all the changes that need to be addressed or considered.
Great. And then weekly hours. I thought like go ahead.
Sorry, I was just checking something on the forum. That's why I wasn't. But let me just go back to Rachel's suggestion, like for this forum to update the main post and add the payout.
Yeah,
but the thing is, for example, I think not all of us have the edit powers to the forum post.
I think anyone can edit their own post, right?
No, I can't. I that's why I was quiet, because I was looking for my own post and I tried to edit it.
You cannot edit your own post?
I think that after some time you cannot edit them.
Yeah, it's like a badge. Like when you are but Ivy for sure should be able to.
No.
Do you mind share screen?
Yeah, I can share my screen. That's why I went. I mean, before we suggest that idea, maybe it's good to check first if it's possible to edit. So this is my post before. So there is no edit option. If I click this, I will only see the versions, but there is no way for me to edit my own post. I think it's
Who posted? Are you the post owner?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Huh? That's crazy.
So,
I think a possible solution to that is like having a document linked to each proposal, or something that maybe a sheet or something that has all the movements or the most relevant information. So if I want to go and see the state of that proposal, I can just go to the document and see, okay, they spent that much over this time, or they did this and this, and there's no need to keep updating, and because probably you want to have a document with updates anyways. So you can just link that document, and that way there's no need to continuously go to the forum and post documents and
Yeah, but the thing with documents, like they can be deleted or whatever, and then they just gone. like in the forum, at least the registry, and you can always go back to the registry.
Right.
Don't know. Is there a way to change the forum settings as far as how long you have to? I mean, it doesn't. I guess just post it somewhere in the comment section.
I think there must be a reason for not keeping it for not allowing everybody to edit their posts. So maybe it should be discussed with Softcov.
Yeah.
Maybe just
Yeah,
admins have it built.
Yeah, definitely is worth raising the topic on Softcov and then see. Like, I really think it's a very nice way, to keep the payouts at the forum posts, as Ratio suggested. I think that would be much easier to read.
Well, I think I'd rather have it on the comments. Just thinking about it, because enabling people to edit their posts after a long time maybe it's probably too risky, in my opinion, because okay, most of us are hopefully good actors, but then you can go back 1 year and change the information of whatever post, and who knows what was the truth, right?
Yeah, and also that means that if they edit the forum post with the payouts, they can just go back and edit. It's so easy to edit those information.
Yeah.
And we might
Not really.
we might not
Not
notice
really.
if something
That's
a number.
that's not accurate. It's not accurate because I don't know. Like, if there's a post, even I deleted a post that the admins can go and look at it, right? They just see it in red, and if I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't think it's worth.
Yeah, this for example, like this forum post is not relevant, so I come here and edit, and I say edit, then I save the edit. It's saving, and it says, oh, it's edited 2 times, and then I come here and then I remove.
Your screen's not sharing.
Oh, sorry for that. I'm actually editing a post. I just okay. I save the edit now, and then you see, and then this is 3 edits. Okay.
Is this only viewable to the owner though?
Sorry?
Is this viewable to everybody or just the owner of the document?
I can see
all the admins.
Yeah, just the admin. So I think if we want everybody to have the editing power, I don't know if, because I'm not an admin, but maybe only admins will be able to edit. And
Well,
we
I
can
can see
make
the
everybody
history
edit.
of changes, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you can permission it any way you want. I wasn't suggesting that people have unlimited editing, that everybody has unlimited editing power. It should probably be if it's a proposal, whoever's the multisig holders should be the ones responsible for editing. And if they're a multisig, that shows some sort of trust.
Yeah, I that should be like a topic for Softcov, like powers and edits and all that stuff. But yeah, it's definitely worth having a conversation, and I really think it's having this the outflow just right after the in the post itself. I think it helps on the visibility, and it's actually more transparent. I mean, if the outflow is there, lost in the comments, it's still transparent because it's there. But yeah, it's like hiding the information somehow. Or not making it very accessible. I think
it's claiming transparency because it's somewhere that's public.
Yeah. Okay. So next topic. Oh, are we done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Next topic. It's like Ivy. You need to put your hours. Or you did. Only 2? Oh wow, that seems too little. Anyway, like you need also to put you also need to put the address. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we still have 2 weeks for that. And yeah, actually, I wanted to go to the board. And yeah, actually, my biggest thing, like what I wanted to, we focus on is like structure, like the workflow in the audit. I heard like you, Risha, you say like you already start thinking on working on it, which is awesome. But I think it would be worth like having a call and maybe now we still have 30 minutes and chat how we want to actually approach the audit. Hey, hello, Durgadash. So IB ratio.
Morning.
Yeah, that was my question. Is exactly how we're going to, how like the format that it needs to be in. Are we going to like just provide a write up, documentation, presentation? Like slides. What's the agreed upon format?
I think we could start working on a Google Doc. I think IB even make a.
Yeah. I sent the link already, I think, in the transparency channel.
Yeah.
Let me find it again.
Audit master file. Yeah. Maybe it's worth have a pin this message. Who do I pin? Oh, here. Oh, but not this one. Okay, it's here now. On the it's fixed. I can share.
Yeah. So my question was like, I mean, not necessarily just mine, but I mean, mine's going to be votes. I mean, you want that? Like, what format is the only thing I'm asking. Like, document? Do you want slides to go with it? Do you want just slides with the information?
I think we can start using this document first, like yes, and then we can let's see what information we have, and then we can decide later on how to make the presentation better. But I think what we talked previously is to make a Google document and then change it to PDF once it's ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is the working file, and everybody can edit at the same time, like a live document. So.
And we don't need to worry so much about the, the letters are good or bad. Like all the designs, Accelerator is going to take care of it.
Yeah. I think what's important is for us to gather all the data first.
Yeah. And put the content.
Yeah.
And how is that? And this content is just for this year, right?
No, 3 months. Like starting on January. Like we're aiming to present the audit at the end of the proposal.
So it should cover maybe we should specify it here in the document, like this is it's here, February to April 2022. Yeah. The period is stated in the title of the document.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but I would say January. January
to March.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it starts with the commons upgrade, not January. So the commons upgrade was in February. That's why I thought it covers
Commons
the first
upgrade
few months
was
of
in-
the commons upgrade.
Commons upgrade was in February,
Oh,
not
it's
January. Yeah,
Yeah.
25. But
I'm so confused. Yeah. Then let's do
Yeah.
January.
yeah, and then I also think it's easier, like 3 months, and then it's when December is the last month, and then we close the year.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, where's the questions you have, Ratio? You're taking 3, right?
Yeah, I'm taking 3. No, that was it.
Should we write down our names already for each part so at least we know? And then also open an issue, like an epic. I will create an epic on ZenHub and then make an issue for every part and assign.
Oh yeah. That's a good way to do it.
Okay, I can do that.
I feel I'll be working on all of them, but most like like right now I'm doing 4, 5, 6. We know with the Dune analytics with us, but I'm also coordinating. I feel like I'll be for sure, like I'll be looking at all of them, and then whatever you guys don't want to pick, I'll make sure it's done. But feel free to pick as much as you want.
Maybe we can put can we already put the name so it's easier for me to assign them on ZenHub? Like put down the name for every part.
Yeah, I mean, can also work. Like, and you guys pick all the issues you want, and the ones you don't want, I'll leave them to me. I also feel like this is going to be, Crazy is taking care of this one. Transparency calls, then we discuss, and then Ivy, you're taking decisions, then we also discuss it. Oh, talking to decisions. Actually, there was, and actually, I think this part should. I don't know if it's on the. What happened right now is like we upgrade to the commons, so we are not in the know from all the TC holders. Like before the upgrade, we will know everyone who have tokens because we got the addresses from all the hatchers. That was a requirement. But right now, anyone can buy TC. I can also buy TC on 2 accounts, so quadratic voting doesn't make sense anymore. So we reached a decision actually on a soft call without much voting or anything. That instead of quadratic voting is going to be just weighted voting, and for sure this have to make it into the audit.
Yep, that's on top of the. I've got that sitting on top of the decision tracking on page 1.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just this call that's mostly focused on numbers here because you're doing an audit? I don't come to a lot of these calls, but because I think it's normally a little early for me. But given my recent experience, I'm taking a lot more of an interest in what's going on now. So I'm trying to sort out what the priorities are and figure out how you guys do things. So.
Thanks for joining, Durga. That's so early. Actually, like our priorities right now is getting that audit done.
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
right now,
searching this document for gravity, and I didn't see anything. So do we not report like how many gravity cases we dealt with or things like this? What does transparency cover is what I'm trying to figure out.
We're trying to cover like the broader community. Like be transparent with TEC itself, and then for gravity, gravity still have no money, But when Gravity have money, we can come here on this table. Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Treasuries. Yeah, here. And then we are coming here and we can type Gravity. And then when Gravity have a multisig with funds, we can see all the movement from Gravity. But then how Gravity want to handle the transparency around the cases, that's something that is out of the transparency working group scope. It's more on Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't want to be, like these inspectors that go and make questions to everyone. We just fostering transparency.
That's not what you want to do?
Yeah, no. We don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to go and ask, everyone. Oh, what's below this pillow, right, or whatever. No, we don't care. You do what with your stuff. We care about what's in the TC fund. Like everything that's TC money, that we trace it. But the rest, up to you guys.
Well, that's all right. So I guess what I'm hearing is that there is a kind of an implicit assumption that other groups will be transparent. It's not that you're chasing people around trying to make sure they are transparent.
Yeah, exactly. And if someone is asking money and they are not, oh, give me $1 million because I'm going to build a huge stuff, and then you don't build it or you maluse the funds, then you are going to go to conviction voting again. And then who is going to give you money? No one, because you are not being transparent with your funds. And actually, we're tracing the funds.
Yeah, I don't know how to say this, but I understand what Durgados is saying. But I mean, I'd be willing to take on if these other working groups want to provide information, stats, specs, whatever metrics. I mean, I'll be more than happy to work on a section of that for the audit group. But I mean, there's only 3 of us, so pretty much mandating or tracking transparency throughout the entire all the working groups is since there's overlap in meetings and everything else. I mean, it'd be rather difficult. So I mean, people have to have some form of transparency within a working group.
We also encourage everyone to use how they're using the funds, and actually, like the 2 proposals that passes have how to be transparent with how are they using the funds. But what I was telling, like Gravity, what Gravity does is like they take care of if I have a conflict with your ratio, and then I go to Gravity, and then I say, oh, ratio, tell me I'm dumb or whatever, right? And then a graviton just will mediate between me and you, and then this mediation, should that be transparent? I think that's out of
the number of interventions should be transparent. I mean, it would.
Yeah, and it is actually because it's on D work. Every time a graviton have a case, it's on D work. So they're using money to pay those gravitons. So it's an outflow, and we're tracking that. The number, yes, but
I guess I'm just kind of observing or pointing out or whatever that go ahead.
No, I actually have a question because I'm not a graviton and I don't know what's the process for handling conflicts. But my question is like, does Gravity have like this confidentiality, something like that, in handling conflicts? Because if there should be confidentiality in those cases, then it's gonna be contradicting the transparency if we want to be transparent around those cases.
Well, I mean, what I was saying is, if we handled 10 cases this month and 1,000 cases the next month, it seems to me that would be a thing that we should be reporting on. And I guess in my mind, given my recent experience, I mean, for me, what I think that the transparency group should be is not just this, but more like the free press in a democracy, where it's the job of them to go around and take the temperature of the group and to talk about it and to investigate. So my experience was brought about because there was a misunderstanding, but not only there was a misunderstanding, and there was no transparency at all regarding any of it, and it went on for a really long time, right? So you know, when I'm thinking about this, right, and here we have a group called Transparency, but really, is that the right name for it? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm asking. So I understand that you're only, what is the mandate of that group? So I mean, maybe I need to look into this more. I think, and a lot of people that I talk to who apologize for being bystanders in my issue later were like, yeah, we thought either Gravity was dealing with this or that Transparency might know, or you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just, because we have these groups, people assume that we have these sort of processes to sort of handle all of it, and everyone's like, well, I'm just going to leave it up to that existing process. Well, our existing process isn't what we think it is. Do you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
so,
but actually, that's like what we're trying since the beginning of the transparency working group is foster mutual monitoring. So because if I'm the monitor, then I can say, oh, Gravity did 10 cases. Yeah. Oh no, they did 12, and then I just put some money in my pocket, right? Like the intention is like make it so the community is monitoring itself. So where our main intention is not, transparency that has to come from the community, and we want to foster transparency, but not be us who enforce transparency, because then it's the cure is worse than the.
Well, I don't know that transparency and enforcement are even remotely the same. Do you know what I'm saying? Enforcement is, so if you look at a democracy, enforcement is an entirely different wing of governance. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all handled completely differently. On the other hand, there are laws that are set up to, continue to, make sure that there is transparency and accountability, right? So, the question is, it seems like what you guys are doing is to some degree accountability, because you're literally, I'm looking at you doing accounting, right? So transparency and accountability would seem to go hand in hand. And I guess what I'm saying is that, having a little emotional distance from it now, the only thing that I could think was all of the processes that I thought would help me failed me during that time. Do you know what I'm saying? There was no transparency. In fact, for a really long time, because it was griff. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, it was just, oh yeah, that guy's trustable and mutual monitoring and blah blah blah. But that process failed me too, right? So what do I do? I would have loved to come to transparency, but you guys aren't looking at those things. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's just a really interesting problem, and that's why I was saying in some of the meetings that I think we have a structural problem, and or that this group is entirely too passive. So I'm trying to figure it out. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to learn some lesson, for the group, feeling like I know for a fact that I've been reached out to by a number of people saying that they all had a similar experience where there were these structural issues and things were falling through the cracks. And I just wanted to make the people who are working on transparency aware that this passive approach is having consequences for people, and it did for me, and I know that there are more people for whom it's having consequences. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Not that I'm trying to give you a hard time or something. I'm just saying that whatever approach it is that we've decided to take with this might not be enough. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm trying to point out.
But I get your point, but also, if I now say, oh, Ratio, he's very bad person, and I said it on a meeting.
What the heck does that have to do with it? I'm trying to understand.
I mean, because you're saying like you're trying to be transparent with what the other person says, but actually, even Griff saying whatever he said, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we didn't have at that moment, we didn't have a process.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but you know, so we were not, you
Let me
know,
just say,
giving.
I think what
We were.
Zeppi is trying to say is like transparency is not really passive, because like what he said, that we didn't have that process, but then we created a process to make it transparent, to make, you know, like to have a
make what
basis,
transparent?
giving credentials. I think that's where it started, based on my understanding. Like
No,
the
it
issue
started with
started with the trying to get credentials, and then it was raised.
no.
Right.
The
So what?
symptom was
So yeah, so
that
what we
was the symptom.
tried.
That wasn't the root cause of it, and I wouldn't have known if I hadn't had somebody come and just tell me personally, that this had been going on for a long time. And so, yeah, so it's actually just my question to you guys, in terms of, I had a thing which for me continues to resonate, as a thing, the most important person in Token Engineering Commons, and one of the most important people in all of cryptocurrency, and one of the most highly regarded people in the entire community, had this misunderstanding with me, and was, sort of, creating an issue for me for more than a year. And what I'm just trying to figure out is that um, what is it that we're changing in terms of transparency's processes to make it so that that sort of thing doesn't happen to other people? Because I know it's happening to other people, not just with Grip, but I just mean there are structural issues like that where people kind of assume, oh, Gravity, and they assume because it's Grift, he's a good guy, and blah, blah, blah. Do you see what I mean? Nothing against Grift here. I'm not beating him up or anything. I'm just saying that structurally people are going to appeal to authority. They're going to appeal to, reputation. They're going to appeal to all these things. And so, but transparency's job, it seems to me, just in the mandate, just in the name, is to try to make sure that things within that actually, become better. And so I'm just trying to sort out, how is it that despite having a group like this, and despite having Gravity, and despite having all these things, we still
I
are
mean,
I have
having
a,
this kind of
okay.
thing.
Can I ask a question? Like, how can being transparent with individual cases like this will be beneficial to the community? Because I feel like when we were working on our manifesto, I think what we had in mind is like we should be transparent with things, with everything that
With the
affects
money.
no, not the money, but the processes, you know, that affect
Right.
the whole community. But I feel like if
Yeah.
there are individual issues like this, and that don't really affect the community, I think that should be handled by Gravity.
Right. So I guess what I'm saying is that that the fact that you're thinking of it as an individual case that doesn't affect the entire community is really, really wrong. I'm telling you that what I experienced is the result of a structural problem. It's not a personal problem between me and Griff. It's not any of these things. It's a structural problem within the way we run our
but
community.
the problem is not the way we run it. Our community is the tooling. We have a centralized tooling. Like, we have a Twitter account. Like,
Okay.
and like, if it was really decentralized, it would be Turgadas posting in TC, in name of TC, or but it would never be TC posting in name of TC. It would be someone posting, and we don't have, like, this infrastructure. Like, we have centralized tooling, so
What
we need
you
central, and when you
what?
have like, when you have an account, you have a person who is responsible for having this account, and then
Right.
if you want to type on this account, you have to ask to this person, and if this person, for whatever reason, is not giving you the account, but the problem is that it's because we're using centralized tooling.
I think
Right, and that is by itself the structural issue, right? That's literally the
Yeah,
definition of the thing I'm saying. Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
if we have centralized tooling, then we must have a structure in place to interrogate the effectiveness and the transparency of that centralized group. It's the lack thereof which I'm speaking to specifically. Do you know what I'm saying? It's so what I'm saying is either we do a completely decentralized thing where we don't have the token engineering comms as a single voice like you said, and we just have all the participants talking about what we're doing here, and or we interrogate and monitor specifically. So mutual monitoring is one thing, but I guess my point is that as we centralize tools, we also tend to centralize our thinking around it, and that is the definition of the structural issue I'm bringing to our attention here.
NT wants to say something.
Sorry, go ahead.
I probably don't know enough about the specific situation, but I think I've noticed that it feels like it's a bit hard to access information in the TEC. It's in some extent. Like I was in the tcommons.org page, and I just clicked on the handbook, and there's like I thought that was some kind of wiki for documentation, but the information there seems a bit poor for some extent, and I don't know if that's one possible solution to some problems, but and I don't know if that's a transparency matter or responsibility, whatever. But I think information about the outlines for working groups, the outlines for whatever the TEC does, should be more accessible for maybe someone like me who is new to the community, or for someone that's just looking for the TEC. Where's the documentation? Like I probably have to spend a couple of hours going through the forum or whatever to get a grasp of what does each group has, like what are the responsibilities of each group and such. And I have to agree that I don't know which whose responsibility is that, but I have to agree that if every working group has some goals, there should be a way to measure those goals, to see what's the status. And going back to the documentation, that's probably what it should be. Like, I don't know, you guys were talking about gravity. I don't think you have to disclose the cases, but it would be nice to see how the community improves over time, like the amount of cases and things like that. And probably that's the case for pretty much every working group in the TEC. And so these communities are usually pretty large and complex and weird in some senses. And so for me, proper documentation is really important.
I guess what I'm saying is if I looked at this audit, what I would think is the name of this group was accounting, not accountability, not transparency, but accounting. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I'm just trying to figure that out, right? Because we're concerned mostly about numbers, and I just wonder. I'm really trying not to give you a hard time here, but I'm just very aware right now of the lack of transparency in some specific situations where I know we're leaving people behind in our community. And as a person who experienced it precisely that, I want to affect some kind of change in some way, right? So I can show up in these groups and derail everything until I feel like it's better. Frankly, I'm not trying to do that, but I just, I'm really feeling strongly about this right now, and
Well, let me ask you how you
I need to jump
how
out,
do
guys.
you expect? I mean, like, seriously, and not trying to not being disrespectful, but